It's the Standard Pauper Show. It's a show about Standard Pauper. Well, hello, folks. That's right, it's episode number 3. Let's get on with it, shall we? Again, one more reminder, the Pauper Gauntlet is coming up. Who will survive the longest in this grudge match against Dex? That sounds weird. I'll try not to say it like that next time. So, whenever the article gets published, it looks like it's still going to be about February 24th. After the release, we'll be taking submissions. You say which deck you think will last. Submit your deck. Say, hey, I think this deck is super awesome. Maybe it'll get put in. You never know. Alright. What happened? Well, let's look back at the week that was. MPDC 2313 happened. 15 players. Look at that, 3 rounds of Swiss Top 4 playoff. Mono White wins again. Oh my goodness. Made a video earlier this week of that Mono White deck, and it is very strong. I like it. I think there's a lot of tools coming up in the next set that will give it more oomph. I don't know if that's a real word, but I'm going to use it. We had an unofficial SPDC last week. 8 players showed up. 8 decks, there were 8 different people, 8 different decks. Dr. Demento won with his Spy Candy. Don't know why he calls it Spy Candy or SPI Candy. I don't know. Anyway, he won. I played in that and took a thorough thrashing. Winner comparison. Mono White. You got the Auramancer, you got the Keening, Staring Skyjack. Lots of auras. Also a lot of evasion. Sideboard has some things for very specific instances of what you'll need. The other winner was Bant Hexproof. I believe he called it something else, but it's Bant Hexproof. With the Frostburn Weird, Nivik Cyclops, Archaeomancer, lots of different kinds of removal, just ways to get it through. Pretty good little deck, pretty good. Let's look at the opening hand of the Mono White. Here's a sample. 3 lands. I don't see how you couldn't keep this, but I guess if you want to live on the wild side, you could throw it back. I don't know what you're going to do much better. Syndic of Ties. Yes, it works really well. I'm just not a huge fan of it in the deck. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone here. Got your Ethereal Armor. God's Willing. Plenty of protection. Lots of lands. The next 6 cards. Looks like you're drawing pretty much all gas at that point. Curve. Very simple. 1, 2, 3. Very, very easy. Let's look at Spy Candy. This opening hand has a lot of lands. You got Frostburn, you got your Essence Scatter. It looks like you draw nothing but gas after that. It's pretty good, but 4 landers, I think you have to. If it's a 5 lander, I think throwing it back is always an option. The next 6 draws. Got the Chandra's Outrage, the Lightning Strike, another Chandra's, Guildgate, which is always fun, and Frostburn Weird and a Lightning Strike. Curve is a little different on this one. Very few 1-drops. A lot of 2, and then it declines off of there. But look, 14, 12, 8. That's a pretty substantial curve. Luckily, you had 4 lands in hand. I played this deck again at the SPDC. Woo! I got thrashed. Although each game almost went to time. One, I only had 22 seconds left, and the guy still beat me. I think I could have done something to draw that out. I don't know. But anyway, mono blue control. Don't know why it fared so poorly. We only made a couple updates. Anyway, might play this again. Don't know. I really do like that mono white deck. Whee! More spoilers. Looky here, Scouring Sands. Sorcery speed, 1 damage, scry 1. I can't see which deck would play this. Electricity is just so much better. Scry 1 for sorcery speed, ugh. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't. More spoilers. This is the saddest. Look at that poor thing. I hate this picture. Rise to the challenge. It's just one of the usual +2/+0 first strike or whatever red spell gives +2/+0. I like Dynacharge in this area for just because you can make it work with all your creatures if you're looking for this kind of effect. I know it doesn't give a first strike, but still trying to push through damage. Just not a fan. Whee! Reckless Reveler. Maybe a sideboard card for red deck wins. It's all about how much do you hate Razor Tip Whip. That's kind of the only artifact right now that's in standard Pauper, or that's being used with any substantial consistency. I don't know, maybe sideboard. Who knows what the future is going to hold? Maybe we're going to go for a whole other Mirrodin block, only like 2 years after the first one. Well, second one. How do you say that? Because there was the Mirrodin from forever ago. And there's that last one. The second Mirrodin block? Maybe that's the best way to put it. Alright. Look at this. The Muppet Cyclops. Seriously. Look at that goofy face. He want cookies. I don't know. Anyway, red deck wins. Might use this, but at the 4 slot, it had better be really good. And it's 5 damage, but I don't know. Just don't see it happening. Is it worth this? I just think that there are better options at the 4 slot. I mean, that's so much mana, especially in a red deck. All right, maybe red deck wins. I don't know. Cyclops of One-Eyed Pass. I think because the pass was named One-Eyed, you should have known there were Cyclops. Let's see what he says. The champion armed herself to face the Cyclops, heedless of her companion's despair. How will you defeat it with only 1 spear? Oh, I see it coming, asked one Althamone. The champion raised her weapon. It has but 1 eye. I wish I could put some sunglasses on her and I can go, yeah! Anyway, what do we got next? Bolt of Keranos. Lightning Bolt for 3 mana and scry 1. Sorcery speed. I don't know. Maybe if you're going to go for just a straight burn deck, just straight up burn, maybe. Sorcery speed, 3 damage for 3. Yikes. Anyway, Annihilating Fire, if you're going to go that option, I just like it better. Maybe there is a burn deck that I'm just not aware of. Guess we'll see someday. Kragma Butcher. I think red deck wins can use this. Like I said here, I like him over Shred Freak. I know Shred Freak is only 2 mana, but man, I don't think it would kill the curve that much. Because here, what I say is +3 Kragma, -4 Shred Freak, add another Gorehouse. Because I love the Gorehouse Chainwalker. It's good stuff. See, here's Red Deck Wins by N.T. Smith. He did pretty good with that. What I say is, like I said, take out the 4 Rakdos Shred Freak, add 1 Gorehouse Chainwalker, and add 3 of those Kragma Butchers, because every time it untaps, it gets, well, I mean, look at that, it gets +2/+0, the new inspired mechanic. One of the few that's actually pretty good. Well, I say few. There's some interesting ones, but in common, not all of them are great. And here it is, the reprint, Revoke Existence. Any deck that will splash white will put this in there, because you exile artifact or enchantment. There's so many enchantments. It is crazy. Avery61 did some research. I believe 20 of the 26 decks that placed in the past few MPDCs, SPDCs, all had enchantments. It's ridiculous. Mortal's Ardor. This first question: how useful are combat tricks in standard Pauper? Is there a heroic deck strong enough to warrant this? Lifelink's pretty good, but 1/1, maybe? I'm not sure. If it gave 1/1 and lifelink to all your creatures, now that'd be something to write home about. This does not. I don't think it's going to go unless a heroic deck in Pauper is brewed up instead of just being a good feature on a good card. If there's an actual true heroic deck, maybe. Until then, I just don't think so. It's not terrible. So many worse options. Here you go. Hold at bay. Prevent the next 7 damage to your creature. That is yucky. It doesn't give you 7 life. It just prevents 7 damage. Is that heroic enabler enough? Just seems terrible. Like I said, maybe if it gained you life, I don't know, something's just not right up in here. Oh, Elmer. Great Heart. 2/4 for 4. I think I'd rather have a gatekeeper and shoehorn in some gates in a deck. Because, no. Vanilla creature is vanilla. Excoriate. Exile. Sounds good so far. Target. Not bad. Tapped. Creature. Oh. Exile target tap creature. Any deck in white, since the removal has just been lackluster, shall we say, for Theros block, I think this is going to see some play. Mostly because it exiles. Pacifism, if you do that, again, it leaves the devotion count. And it's a little different than Revoke Existence because you can any creature that is tapped. It does not necessarily have to be an enchantment creature. Afara's Radiance basically allows you to tap +1 in a white for 3 life. Maybe if there's a heroic deck, if you had this on your Oreo Sun Guide, you could end up with considerable amount of life every turn. Until then, I just don't know. It would do both heroic and inspired, so you gotta consider that. And I love the art. I think it's a pretty picture. I like it. All right, who's this guy? Elite Skirmisher. Ermagerd, it's a skirmisher. Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Elite Skirmisher, you may tap target creature. Whoa. 3 mana for a 3/1. That's a tap cat heroic. No. I doubt this sees play because there are some really good 3-drops. His heroic is just not good enough for that. Whee! A Crowan Skyguard. Maybe. This goes in the definite maybe pile. It's flying 1/1 for 2. Its heroic gives them +1/+1. That's so close to being awesome. Wingsteed Rider, really good. This guy, is that one less toughness going to be that big of a deal? I think it will. I do. It would have been nice if they'd have made it white and then given it either like a 1/2, something to that effect. I don't know. Maybe they thought it was too close to the Wingsteed Rider. Seems so fragile. Maybe in the blue-white Flyers deck. I have down here, is this better than Loyal Pegasus? I'm going to say yes because it can block the turn it comes out. Things you got to think about though. How often are you going to be targeting this? And with what? Interesting. Here it is, Griffin Dreamfinder. 5 mana for a 1/4 flying. But look at this. It's a Auramancer. When Griffin Dreamfinder enters the battlefield, return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. I like it. I know it's way more expensive than Auramancer, but put this in as copies 5 and 6 of the Auramancer. Oh, I think White Weenie and the enchantments in general can use this, but since it's double white, should probably stay relegated to White Weenie. We'll see. Whoop. Here's how I would brew with it. Take out 2 of the Keening Apparition. Get to my reasons in a minute. Add Nyxborn Shieldmates. We talked about him last time. It's the 2/1 for 1 enchantment creature. Add 2 of those Griffins. And take away the smites for Revoke Existence. Ooh-wee. Seems awesome. Sideboard, I put the smites there just in case. Anyway, I kind of like this. I'm going to try it out. I know Griffin Dreamfinder is big. Or, excuse me, the mana cost is big. I think there's something there. Look at this. Mono green Stompy! Swordwise Centaur. 2 mana for a 3/2. It's Guruk's Companion. If you're going to start building a Devotion Green in Pauper, this is a great place to start. Snake of the Golden Grove. Maybe Mono Green can use this. It's a 4/4 with Tribute 3, meaning if when it comes in, your opponent can either put on 3 1/1/1/1s, or this other clause, when the Snake of the Golden Grove enters the battlefield, if tribute wasn't paid, meaning they decide not to put the counters, you gain 4 life. Sort of a Thrag Tuskiness feel right there. But would you rather have this or Nessian Asp? Oh wow, it's such a hard call. I would probably still go with the Asp. Even though you're probably always guaranteed to get the life, because no one wants to deal with a 7/7. Citizen Starbreaker. When Starbreaker enters the battlefield, you may destroy target aura. Not enchantment, just aura. I guess if Hexproof becomes a thing, this isn't terrible. But until then, so much money when you can naturalize something. I don't know. Interesting concept, but it just seems to cost way too much mana. But you do get a body, whereas in naturalize you don't. It's only 1 more. I'm on the fence. Again, I think it would be a good sideboard just in case you come up against the Aura's deck. Citizen Oathsworn. 1 green for a 1/1, but it's heroic. You get 2 +1/+1s. Maybe green auras. It's basically the standard Pauper version of the Centaur Battlemaster, but I just think the cost is way too prohibitive. Because not only do you have to spend 3 mana to cast him, to make him worthwhile, you would at least have to target him with one thing. So you're out even more mana and a card now. So, I don't think he's going to be in there. Maybe, out of spite, people will put him in there, but it just doesn't seem like they will. Satyr Wayfinder. 1/1 for 2. Look at the top 4 cards, put a land in your hand, the rest in the graveyard. Currently, I don't think we have anything that needs the graveyard full. Maybe they're bringing back Threshold in the new expansion, but as of right now, this seems an awful lot to give up for a chance at a land. Let's see, what do we got? This one I like. Fairies Band Tromper. Who can use it? Mono Green Stompy. That's right. Has Inspired. When it becomes untapped, it gets +1/+1. That's really good. Swing in, next round untaps. He's a 4/4. Swing in, next round untaps is a 5/5. So on and so forth. And if you can figure out a way to tap him before that, all the better. Alright, Karametra's Favor. Enchantment Aura. Replaces itself. You draw a card when it enters. Enchanted creature has tap, add 1 mana. No. It's a neat card, but it's just not. I don't think there's any place for it right now in the standard Pauper metagame. Unless something crazy rampy needs to be built up. Charging Badger. 1 mana, 1/1 for trample. Isn't there an elf that does this? Defiant Elf? This is weird. I just don't see anyone using it. Good on them for making a badger. It's cute. Now we're getting into the card that disappoints me the most. Weight of the Underworld. Aura. Enchanted creature gets -3/-2. Oh my gosh. This is so far from deadweight, it's ridiculous. And the art is awesome. I love that art. But it is completely wasted on this card. This is a terrible, terrible card. Stab Wound is so much better. So many things they've put out in the recent past have been just so much better. I don't know what they're going for with this. Anyway, beautiful art, terrible card. War Chanter of Mogus. Inspired. Whenever he becomes untapped, target creature gains Intimidate. How long is he going to stick around? 5 mana, so you're already black, so you're probably already on turn 5. Maybe not. But let's just say turn 5. Cast him, 3/3. Attack with him next turn, turn 6, still a 3/3. Attack with him the next turn, turn 7, but at least he has Intimidate, or something has Intimidate. I don't know. I don't see anyone going to go out of their way to brew with this thing. Although a Minotaur tribal deck is getting a lot of neat things for it. Necrobite. No current deck in standard Pauper wants this. Target creature gets Death Touch and regenerate it. Situational to the extreme. It's just not worth it. Not worth a card slot. Grizzly Transformation. I think it's better than Necrobite personally because it sticks around. But creature gains Intimidate. I don't think anyone used the last Intimidate, but it replaces itself, so it's already better. Your call. If you think that after sideboard you realize there's no black creatures in your opponent's deck, they can go ahead and safely put this out there because its Intimidate creature is going to get through. Don't know. Death Cult Rogue is also pretty hard to block. Forsaken Drifters. with 4 mana for a 4/2 with a drawback. When it dies, mill yourself 4. That's crazy. Right now, there's not a Graveyard Matters kind of deck, so there's things that can recur items, but nothing that really depends on the graveyard, so I don't see how this is of value at the moment. Claim of Erebos. I like this card. It's an enchantment. Put on a creature, they have tap, plus 2 mana. Target player loses 2 life. That's good. I don't think there's a deck right now, but man, so much potential with this card. So much potential. Like I said here, maybe Extort can make a comeback with something like this. Don't know. Asphyxiate. At first, I absolutely hated this card, but then I was listening to Pauper to the People. I think it was Chris Weaver pointed out that the removal is so terrible in Theros block that this could actually be worthwhile. A 3 mana conditional removal, sorcery speed. Please, Wizards, don't go down this road. I hate having my hard to cast creature be doom bladed, but this is ridiculous. Murder was so much better. Oh, I want to talk about a card that I previewed last week, Aspect of Hydra. I wasn't really keen on it until, again, Chris Weaver pointed out this could make an all mono green deck, mono green deck, Stompy, a real big contender because it's instant, but you're going to have so much mana, so many mana symbols on the field that you're going to get a decent +X every time. Let's look. I brewed up something quick just to kind of show a little rundown of it. Okay, I did 4 Glade Cover Scouts for some hexproof, Swordwise Centaur because a 3/2 for 2 is just too awesome. Leaf Crown Dryad for some reach and some bestow. Slaughterhorn can be a creature, probably just going to be a +3/+2. Nyxborn Wolf, another bestow creature, looks pretty cool. Nessian Asp, big beater. Fairies Band Tromper, and even bigger beater, Nylea's Disciple for some life gain. Aspect of Hydra, like I said, is in there because the +X will probably be fairly high by the time you're wanting to cast this, so that'll be good. Ranger's Guile and Naturalize. Just a generic sideboard. Razor Tip, Plummet, Pit Fight, some specific hate cards. I don't know. Maybe it's good. I'll try to suit this up once I get the cards online. Here's what an opening hand looks like. You got 2 mana, Glade Cover, Ranger's Guile, Naturalize, Nylea's Disciple, Nyxborn Wolf. 2 mana. I would probably keep it. I know we can see the next 6 draws, but not knowing those, I still say we can keep this hand. It's a little on the iffy side because even though it is 2 mana, let's see, 1, 2, I guess 2 of my items just cannot be cast at the moment. Kind of a spiky curve, lots of 1-drop and 2-drops, and then it goes down from there, which again, it's not unheard of. Okay, next 6. You got some lands. You got a Dryad and another 3/2 Garrick's Companion. There's some Ranger's Guile. Let's see. Oh, sorry. There we go. Technical difficulties. Last week I talked about Loyal Pegasus. Loyal Pegasus I thought would be good in the White Flyers deck, but I was having a online conversation with Deluxe if you know him, great brewer, and he had some, I want to call him negative. He liked the direction of the card, but he doesn't think that it is worth a slot at this time. What he was saying, you put it out on turn 1, You have to put something else out on turn 2 before it can attack, and since unless it has haste, it's not going to be able to attack the turn it comes out. So you're sitting there with a flying 2/1 that can neither block nor attack for 2 rounds. And then on the third round it might be able to. I didn't think of it that way. But that's why you ask questions and put stuff out there, folks. Get them answered. Alright. What do we got here? I had said he needs lots of friends, and that is very true. And he's not War Falcon, because War Falcon could at least block. And, let's see. Yep, can't block. Cannot attack or block by itself. It's crazy. Anyway, I just wanted to recant a little bit from last week. I put it in there. It probably shouldn't go. Maybe, now that we have a clear winner. Oh, I'm not going to go all the way back. More special effects. I think that we do have a really good contender in the heroic 1/1 for this slot, because at least that can block something. Here's a contact. You're already here at the YouTubes, Magic Gathering Strat. Just subscribe. Twitter, Magic Gath Strat. Webpage, mtgostrat.com. We got some Twitch, we got some Facebook. Subscribe, like, help us out. Please, if you enjoy the content, why not do it? Anyway, that's all I have for week for the Standard Pauper Show. Hope it was enough. The spoilers are fully spoiled. There's not going to be any spoiling next week. Still some brewing, and I want y'all to brew too. You need to. We need to start getting our mind grapes squished for all this knowledge. Okay. Well, again, that's it, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.